Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday, November 14th. And I hope that your week is off to a great start. We're still kind of in the beginning, right? Hump day right around the corner. Hope your new moon affirmations and ambitions are going off without a hitch, indeed. And that you're also staying rejuvenated and rested in the interim of your hard work. All right, so we're just cutting the cards a bit here. And I hope you caught my last message, which was something different that I've never done before, at least not here in this space, which was a story time, a channeled message. Do check it out. I think you may be intrigued. Okay. All right, let's see what's on the bottom. Two of Swords. Interesting. It's a crossroads moment. You know how I am about the Two of Swords. It's the crossroads, either to make a decision, maybe more information is needed. It could be a protective posture, awaiting further information to move ahead or to make a decision or choose or whatever the case may be. But Two of Swords is definitely one of those energies where, I don't know, what can you say about the Two of Swords? It's like, it's indifference. There it is. Bam. It's like, it's neither good nor bad. It's indifference, and the perception of the energy really just depends on who's looking and who is conceiving it. To the outside looking in, it could look one way. Perhaps that, as in the traditional meaning of the card, that there is some immobility in moving ahead or reluctance to make a decision or confusion or something like that. But as I said, it could just be indecision and the intention to be still in a moment until further movement is necessary or directed otherwise. So you just really never know. I think with anyone sitting with two swords in their hand, you should proceed with caution from the outside in any event. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Right. Proceed with caution. I'm going to take these two. Proceed with caution. All right, so how should I do this? Should he be over? Well, I did put him out first, so I'll do this. Bam. And you know what? I'll take another one on the other side to see what the Queen of Swords is considering. Case in point, someone could look like the Two of Swords, but actually be as discerning as the Queen of Swords, and decisive, I should even say, as the Queen of Swords, who knows when to make a move and when not to, when to be open to consideration, what she's hearing, or to be pensive about communication, and when to wield that sword as she does so well. We got the Four of Cups. That's either a missed opportunity, something delayed. And look, here again, exactly. She knows exactly who to be open to and who not, all things considered. Indifference, emotionally so, as the Queen of Swords is, not emotionally attached at all, quite detached and very objective. So she's not moved particularly by any outside influence, money, emotions, passion, even per se. It's logic. You know, it's what makes sense to her as to how she opens up her posture one way or another to either receive an exchange or communication or to offer the same. All right, so it looks to me that somebody is either has either missed an opportunity or waited a little too late to accept an opportunity, and now here's the delay with the Knight of Pentacles. But in fact, the blockage may be on account of the tardiness of that advancement. Yeah, somebody was caught up in their own illusions, perhaps too preoccupied with other choices, other options. Now this is indecisive right here, for sure. Not even being able to see a high vibrational choice at sight, on sight. Stuck in the matrix is what I'm hearing, but like more or less just stuck in some ideal of satisfaction, maybe even perhaps drunk with the Seven of Cups. Like drunk, because the Three of Cups is like debauchery and partying and celebration. So maybe somebody had a few too many, or it could even be like overindulgence in sensuality, meaning a couple lovers. It can also be, it can be alcohol, and it can even be drugs, you know, but there's some impairment here to make a decision. Now, this is far more impaired and restrictive than this. This is just objection, one way or another. And let's see, so somebody's coming with a Knight of Pentacles is coming, but for me, it just feels like too little, too late. I don't know. The Knight of Pentacles can imply that somebody has worked hard. Maybe he cleaned up his act, or at least that's what he's trying to give the appearance of, you know, stability with the Knight of Pentacles. But the swords are up and out again from where we started. Yeah, because this was an offer, like I said, something rejected in the past when there were multiple choices on the board, and now it's like, oh, now he's done playing with all of those, and most of them don't usually prove to be worth much anyway. So now he wants to present himself with this pentacle to someone that really is not very open to it in this regard. This is not an open body posture. And if it's the energy truly of the Queen of Swords as it is here, like I said, she's not really influenced or moved by much. Like, it's just like, okay, you look like the Knight of Wands, but where have you been? Why? Yeah, but really, this is who you are, the Knight of Wands. You look like the Knight of Pentacles, I'm sorry, but where have you been? What was the delay? And you ain't really going to get much over on the Queen of Swords, because she's like a human lie detector. Whether you like it or not, she knows the truth when she hears it, when she sees it. It's evident, you know, because she is a woman of truth and honor in the most upright, right? So here we have what presented itself to be a Knight of Pentacles really coming covertly, right, under the deck, really coming as this in the spirit of the Knight of Wands. This is the true nature, someone ambitious, perhaps a bit lustful, not very dependable in his own right. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like, it's not, you know, it's hard. We go in on the Knights a bit, well, at least I do at times, but it's not that it's anything wrong with the Knight in his purest form. It's just that you have to consider the source of the offer or the advancement. And it's like, he's a young man, really, the Knight of Wands in this regard, a teenager, maybe even a young adult, offering to a mature Queen of Swords, the expectations are imbalanced. He's supposed to be overambitious. He's supposed to be a bit impulsive and compulsive, driven by his lust in some regard, or just maybe driven by some perverted passion. And I don't mean that in the diabolical sense, like perversion in the sense that it's a bit tainted by his lack of maturity. This is like diffused energy from, say, the King of Wands, someone that hasn't quite come into their own maturely, their own, full development yet, because it's not time for them to. That's not the trajectory. Well, that's not the presence that they're in, but it could be the trajectory that the Knight of Wands is on, to mature into the King of Wands indeed. But to take them at face value and a logical queen stake anything certain in what he's offering or presenting is risky business, because he could literally be here today, gone tomorrow. That's just what it is. So consider that for all it's worth, whether that be in a person, a place, an offer. If it seems a little bit wild and rambunctious and a little bit insecure, perhaps, maybe unstable, there is, you kind of have to test the spirit or let someone show and prove coming in the spirit of the Knight of Wands. Give them the space to solidify their presence, because if it's one that is of well-meaning and that is here to stick around or is on the road to maturity in some regard. I mean, if you're even here for it, depending on who you are, then there could be value there in the exchange one way or the other. Certainly protection, because the Knight of Wands, like the King of Wands, is definitely passionate about protection. And even more so about a good time. It's like excitement. But you got to you would have to give the opportunity, like literally have one sword up and one hand open, being very objective about the true nature of the experience you're having, not just swept away in the excitement of it all, because it can be all consuming. It can be fiery and passionate and things of that nature. And I'm not speaking about this simply like in an intimate way. This could be an idea that comes along that incites someone who's typically pretty grounded and logical, to really run the facts and figures and and numbers, but they get presented with this like inspiration out of nowhere, even someone that inspires a passion for something, and then all of a sudden you abandon everything that you know and run off into the sunset to pursue this adventure or this idea. And it could be fly by night, completely unfounded or not founded enough, for there to be an investment made into it. Perhaps if it's a business idea, you jump into it without research, or without really considering all the angles and possibilities. You just pour all your heart and your energy and your soul because it just feels good to do so. So it could be something professional, it could be an opportunity, it could be your own idea or inspiration or spark, that is lit within you, and an impulse that you would want to follow, because it's more exciting than being a hardcore, ice cold Queen of Swords, doing the same thing every day, the same routine more or less, or I can't say it's the same routine because it is air energy, but not having anything particularly like air energy is kind of aloof, like kind of is going with the wind, in some regards, even though she's a logical queen. So having someone to kind of spark your interest, that's just, it's intriguing, whether it be a relationship or friendship or business or whatever, the case may be. And it could, in fact, lead to a happy ending, as it is here. Or it could be, it could crash and burn. You know what I mean? So it really just is a matter of being grounded as the Queen of Swords, logically, stably, considering all possibilities, using intellect and wisdom and truth, and, you know, moving in integrity with what makes sense to you, no matter what he, she, they presents itself to be, you know, with the greatest promise in the world. It could still be something that could be ultimately a distraction or a setup from you moving forward. I forgot about these cards. I got so stuck on that. It could be like a setup or a sabotage for where you were ultimately heading. See how it's like, it's here, it's like moving ahead, and you left behind the distraction and the determination for destruction here. You're moving forward, you found, you were exalted or are exalted in a position of truth and honor with the Queen of Swords, and it's like, then here comes this energy, you know? So it's like you kind of can't ever put your guard down completely. I feel like that's what it's ultimately saying. Even as open as she has one hand, like she's willing to listen and consider, but you kind of, at least now, until further notice, need to still have your guard up, and with those two swords also guarded, except for now she's released one guard. So that's maybe the maturation and the security here that her circumstances and wise decision making at this point can offer you the sense to feel trustworthy of your choices enough to not feel like you have to be paranoid and blocking everything out, because sometimes you could be so paranoid and guarded that you block out the good things, right? Literally, it could be the opportunity of a lifetime if you stop it at the door, you know. But being clear-minded enough to know, or to at least, and maybe perhaps having the insight and foresight to know when it's actually not that at all, when it's something that could destroy what you have accomplished or acquired. Okay, all right, I'm off it. Let's see, what else we got? I'm not gonna be here long. I wanna move on. I wanna post this and move on with the rest of my night. All right, so let's see what else we got. Damn, this card, come on. Queen of Swords. Okay. Now you see, I kind of almost flipped him upside down, but I did that, so I will take it upright. So here we go with the King of Swords, but you saw what I did with him, and he's up under the Five of Swords. So I don't know who this one is. It could be someone that is in the upright and has that has ultimately transcended his adversity with the Ace of Swords here, found his own way to truth. What's that? Ooh, but I don't know. I don't know though, with the Three of Swords. And the Four would be what? Oh, that's being laid to rest, or rest and rejuvenation. So perhaps maybe he came out of a battle for his heart, or is in a battle over his heart. Let's see. Unless he, hold on. Let me see. What's after this King of Swords? I need more information, i.e. the Ace of Swords. Okay, what's that? Lovers. I felt this. I just want to say it how I feel it. Like, I feel like this King of Swords. One more. This is the Page of Swords. Like, this diffused energy, yeah, and justice. I'm gonna say this, but we'll see how it goes. But I feel like this King of Swords either defeated himself, maybe outsmarted himself in some regard, trying to be the smartest, trying to be clever. And it ultimately led to that Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak card. Three of Swords, and then I said, yeah, and then it laid some opportunity to rest, back to choices again. Now, this is a high vibrational choice with the Lovers, to choose self and to choose to make high vibrational choices outside of self, or to at least position yourself to be an attractive force for that connection, that frequency of connection. Was it the Seven of Cups that came out? It was, right? Yeah, it was. It's like, it was like the Seven of Cups, and yeah, under the deck, where I was like, well, this is really about being, and oh yes, and the Four of Cups. Okay, so yes, this is someone that rejected a choice that could have led to the Lover's energy here, which would have been something more delightful or something more satisfying, more promising perhaps. But because they were deluded or an illusion about having a multitude of choices, they either thought there were more fish in the sea, or they had better options, or they had more time. Those were the things that really come up with those two energies, the Four of Cups and the Seven of Cups. You thought you had more time to party, more time to kick it. Remember, I said it was like drunk energy, like some type of debauchery of some sort. That's what ultimate, and toxicity with the Three of Swords, because that's trauma, toxicity, maybe even fear of missing out. There that is with the Four of Cups. So there was some fear of missing out on the fun, had to be put in a serious position as the King of Swords to make some like direct choice, some definite decision in regards to a love or commitment or anything, really, to be committed in any way. And when you consider, like, this is someone that wanted to stay, remember I was like, air energy is kind of like aloof, a little elusive, maybe is the right word. I don't know if it's aloof, but they kind of like, they move with the wind. There's no substance holistically, but it's air. You know what I mean? So it can take shape and form and slip in and out, sometimes even without being suspected in some way, shape, or form, or being noticed. And that is the vibration that it seems like this king here wanted to be on, to be able to kind of slip in, slip out, like, I don't even know what you call them, like some type of private, I don't know what you call that, like some type of secret service or secret something, like being able to kind of move in the shadows in some regard, dismissing the seriousness, or I would say putting it off, maybe not dismissing it altogether, but reluctant to be captivated by the seriousness of life. He wanted to live his life. He wanted to have a good time, particularly being caught up in a lover's type of partnership where you're going to be expected to be committed and grounded a certain way, or to uphold a certain standard of devotion. isn't most ideal to perhaps maybe him being the Knight of Wands energy, in fact, wanting to play the field a little bit more. It's like now he's trying to come back up here, he's trying to backtrack to his counterpart on account of feeling he's about to miss out again, that FOMO again. But the problem is the presentation doesn't really match the contents of the package. Whereas he might be able to present himself as the King of Swords, or even at best the Knight of Pentacles, something more stable. He's still got that player in him, that Knight of Wands in him, that debauchery, that, party to the wheels fall off type of energy. That's still coming along with him, even though he knows that he has to kind of present himself to be this upright, serious candidate for love, you know what I mean? Someone that is a serious choice. When we're talking about choices by way of the Four of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the two of Swords, a serious choice to get through to this barrier, almost like shape-shifting himself into the Queen of Swords counterpart, meaning to anyway, mentally, again, in some type of manipulative effort. But as I said, it's not going to translate with the Queen of Swords, because if there's anything she knows, is she knows her counterpart when she sees him. She knows someone that really is serious. It's like, it's only but so much you're going to, he may be able to talk the talk, the lingo, and even communicate to a certain vibration of intellect, but eventually his actions, Knight of Wands, will probably tell the truth of his nature, and expose him even to be even less than, this is immaturity here with the Page of Swords. It's like to really expose him for, at least in the form of the Page of the Sword energies, he has not matured to be a serious character, one in truth and honor and upright and nobility and things of that sort. He's still learning the true nature of what that gets to be from the ground stages. Now, he knows wands, he knows a good time, he knows excitement. But to be the counterpart of the Queen of Swords, there's a great disparity here with the Page and the King. And like I said, it's like he can bring a certain communication message with the Page of Swords. Like he can speak he can speak convincingly, perhaps. He can maybe be even clever with his words and his delivery, say all the right things that he thinks one would want to hear to present himself as a lover. But ultimately, his actions are not going to be balanced and harmonious between these two energies. And even within his own self, you won't be able to keep up that facade. Queen of Cups, someone that is discerning, loving, wanted to perhaps maybe even play on, and that's the thing, it's like the immaturity is even evident in that regard, because it's like, he's thinking he could come in, perhaps even whisper sweet nothings. He feels like he's that convincing with the tongue that he could appeal to her heartstrings, like pluck her heartstrings. But that's just how diffused the energy is, how out of his league he truly must be, not to realize that you're not speaking to exclusively a Queen of Cups. You're talking to a Queen of Swords who knows just as well how to use her tongue, and also knows how to decipher the messages that are coming her way. Queen of Swords might be a little bit easier to finesse, because you can just pour out love onto her, make her feel emotionally secure, affirm her and with compassion, or even solicit her compassion, make her almost feel sorry for you in some regard. But the Queen of Swords, she's not so easily moved, because she's not so easily attached, fortunately and unfortunately, depending on the situation. All right, so let's see. So we got the Lovers on the board. Let's keep going. Hangman, yeah, it's like, no. And it's like he willing to risk it all for the chance, because this is and here's that Four of Swords. I said, laid the rest. Like, this is the stability that he is idealizing. And what's this? Okay, definitely the prize. That's what he really is seeing, the opportunity for some advancement and some financial advance. Is that the King of Wands? Oh no, that's because preying on her singlehood or her vulnerability, so he sees it. Same as with the Two of Swords, thinking someone is more vulnerable and unaware, naive perhaps, than they actually are. Again, look at the difference here from the Nine of Pentacles, thinking you approaching somebody single and ready to mingle, maybe perhaps even desperate for partnership, when in actuality she's the Queen of Pentacles. She's perfectly content, whether she's attached or not. So her commitment is to her own harvest, to her own gifts, her own talents, whatever material or spiritual manifestations that are due to her, or that she is manufacturing, literally, like what she's governing, her own little garden of sorts. So it's like with the Queen of Pentacles, that's such a grounded energy that you have to be a bit more practical in your approach. It's definitely not going to be through words of, through clever words. It's not going to be through sweet nothings. Is not necessarily going to be, she's not necessarily going to be impressed by a Knight of Wands, because she's more grounded and I would say conservative in some regard than that. So it's like, it's like he's exhausting all possibilities to try to pierce this energy, but at the end of the day, it's like somehow, some way, he's missing the intel as to what he truly, look, this is the High Priestess. Oh no, it's not. But I thought it was. I saw that this top looked like the top of what she has there. But this is the Five of Pentacles. Like, he's missing something. Perhaps because maybe he's drunk. Maybe he is literally drunk, and when he's coming up with these bright ideas of how to make this advancement, to come forward, and I don't know, whatever, it's not in the right mind, definitely not in a pure spirit. So it's like his intel isn't pure. It's like he doesn't even know his audience or his mark, his target, even to put it more diabolically, literally, he doesn't even know his target to effectively make the mark. It's like you coming at the Queen of Swords with a wand, you thinking you're gonna finesse her with a cup, with emotions, and she's could care less about that. You think that she is single and ready to mingle and needing someone to come take care and protect and all that crap, which may be the only sort of kind of match up with the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. But you missed the mark in that she's actually quite secure in her own right, whether she is whether she is spoken for or not. She speaks for herself, pretty much. And it seems as though, even in that regard, if you come into a Queen of Pentacles with the Five, you definitely are not in the right spot. Now, you might have finessed the Queen of Cups to feel sorry for you at the Five of Pentacles, but the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles is not going to mix investments with such risks. She doesn't need to. and she's grounded enough to know what investments are worth making and what risks are worth taking. And as I said, like the package does not match the contents. The presentation does not match the contents. There's something terribly off with this exchange or this proposition of sorts. That's what it is. It's like a proposition. You know, like, no. A queen of Pentacles is not going to let you rock her stable foundation with the Four of Wands on a whim. You know, you're going to have to show her your portfolio, your financial, to gain some type of partnership, your portfolio, your financial projections, your what do they say in business, like your previous your revenue history, you know what I mean, like your previous sales and things of that nature. Like, even if this is like an investment, you're not, it's like somebody is trying to get connected to an energy outside of itself at this point, by any means possible. You know, literally with the Five of Swords, any means possible, they're trying to cross over into some ideal of success or stability or just a new opportunity. This is what it's giving me, opportunist. Like, oh, well, I got this great idea. Oh, well, you want to have a good time? Oh, well, I'm really an expert in this field or in this on this subject. I'm super creative doing this. It's like willing to tap dance in any arena just for a shot to make something shake. You know, literally just trying to hook up with someone else's energy for some personal gratification. Because what I like to point out in times like this and vibrations such as this is that with this Two of Cups, it's like he's willing to take more of that cup than he's actually offering. He's got his hand out about to grab it, while meanwhile he's holding on to his own, probably in this frequency, because he knows he don't really have much in that cup to offer. He needs to be filled up otherwise. He's putting on a dog and pony show to present himself to have something of value to offer. But whatever it is, it's like, what's the word that it's giving me? It's like out of, I hear expired, but it's not expired. It's just like, what is that word? It's, man, I can't, I feel it, but I can't hear it. It's like when you, not outdated, not expired. It's like washed up. It's like, yeah. It's like washed up energy, especially in terms of a spiritual nature, for sure. Maybe washed up because he's literally burnt out from all, it's like, still lusting after the drink, you know what I mean? Like barely trying to hold on to some, and have with a straight face, but really upside down. Like I said, with this hangman, it's like he don't even really know if he's coming or going, for real. You know, it's like he's inebriated in the spirit at this point, even if he's not actually inebriated, like with substance. It's washed up energy. You know, it may have once been something of a higher vibration, or something of, I don't even know, I can't even call it high vibration with the King of Swords, but something valuable, I would say. But yeah, even with this Page of Wands, like diffused, not even diffused, even more diminished than the Knight of Wands in this regard, not holistically by its own account. But with the Knight of Wands, like I said about the Page of Swords, it's like, this is what it truly is. Even this is a facade. You know, it's something completely burnt out, washed out, overspent, or depleted. You know, if God forbid there was a Page of Pentacles that came out of here, or it was the Knight of Pentacles. So who knows if that Knight of Pentacles is even really as stable and secure, or dependable as he might have borrowed that he might have borrowed that freaking pentacle just to be in the position to be the Knight of Pentacles in the moment, just to appear to look like he has something of value to offer. But in actuality, he's just looking to drink from someone else's cup. He's depleted himself. Look, Knight of Cups. That's definitely a seducer, a finesser. And here, yeah, ambitious over all the wrong things, furiously in almost like a state of attack toward some advancement that, oh, look at this. My God, hold up now. So we got all the knights now. What the frick? Hold up. And the page of, hold on. I got to be missing something. This is him feeling like, oh, that's what the impulse is. And like, no, I'm the one. I got it. I got what you need. This is him, the King of Swords, wanting to beat out any possibility of competition that may be beating him out or may be in a position to beat him out. And that's what I'm saying, washed up, because it's like, really, it could be somebody that's older and that should be by age more mature or farther along than he actually is, truthfully. But what's the fear is that someone younger that perhaps has much more promise and possibility. Remember, I was saying it's like, well, they're not all bad, the knights, but it's just depending on how they're committed to maturing, or how they're allowed to develop. The disparity could, on the knights popping up so prevalently, could really be a projection of this King of Swords being afraid to ultimately kind of be, I said washed up, to be kind of like, not canceled, but it's just like your time is done type of thing. Like having missed his prime, like out of his prime. There it is. Which we know that's all a state of mind. Anybody that has a clear head and perspective knows that's a state of mind. Even if you're called to mature, and which clearly this person is, and didn't answer the call fast enough, because he wanted to still keep the party going. But even if you're called to mature, there's still some achievement of fun or experience of fun to look forward to as you get older. If you can't look forward to that, then that's a sad life for you personally, to think that you can only absorb the younger energies and do what the young people do. Like somebody trying to like hold on to their life, to his youth, for whatever reason. It clearly is more ego and pride based than anything, because when it comes down to it, it's like you're as young as you feel, and if it, like I said, maturity is one thing, but you could be young at heart forever. But this is somebody that's afraid to actually live up to the way that life is calling them to advance and mature. I would say more spiritually than anything, perhaps mentally, maybe in his mindset about life, his ideals about himself and about life. But it's the spirit that's the foundation. It's the source. So he's been probably siphoning off of the energy of other vital forces that kept him feeling young, particularly women, because women can do that for men. Consider, a man that feels good with a young woman on his arm, and makes him feel, like he's doing something in some regard. It's energetic, but it's also like an ego stroke. But for whatever reason, he's feeling like he's being, he's being stood up or how do you say it? Like, the competition is beating him out ultimately, that he's not able to keep up this facade. Maybe he's actually looking older because of the engagement of activities that he's been doing, that he's been in addiction with in some regard, or at least in the habit of. We all know that drinking for sure will add some years to your life if you do it in overindulgence. So maybe he's like trying to race. I did say that before. It's like a pushback against time, because he tried to keep the party going for so long, refusing to mature, take that Ace of Cups. He wanted to stay with the Three of Cups, the party, the debauchery, the celebration, the good time, be young, be free, like live it up. And then it's like you look up and time is like moving forward and you're still stuck in this hangman position, but now you're trying to, make up for lost time, or at least trying to reclaim what you feel like you may be about to lose out on. I.e. now trying to go back and get this counterpart that maybe you passed up on because you wanted the other options in the Seven of Cups. You didn't want the Four of Cups, very clearly, the one of the Four of Cups. So now it's like, the mad dash back to, against the competition, trying to beat the competition out to get what you feel entitled to, what you left behind ultimately, what you rejected, this commitment, that stability, the house, the four of wands, the house, the queen that ultimately is almost all the queens, just as much as all the knights on here. We had the Queen of Cups, we had the Queen of Swords here, we had the Queen of Pentacles. The only one we didn't see yet, I think, is the Queen of Wands on the board. But that's almost the Empress in the sum of the whole, and it's like you want to go back for that for the one that got away, but more so the one that you left behind. And it's like, oh, well, she really ain't as engaged, she's not as turned on, or what do you call it, like, not even turned on, but she's just not as, I don't even know what to say, what it is, like, as committed or as interested, maybe even perhaps, as she was. That she's not really in the cups. Yeah, she's at, like I said, she's in the freedom of that Nine of Pentacles, willing to be, she's not desperate, put it that way, like willing to be alone at this point, definitely not willing to settle. The Queen of Swords is not the settling type, because she's not even energetically swayed to be able to feel like she should settle. She has a clear concept of what she has an expectation for, and if you're not meeting that standard, as the star energy, if you're not meeting that standard, you're not aligned with her destiny logically, rightfully, it's not even going to make sense to her. So that's why I said it's like, so now I get it when I was saying it's like he's coming with all the wrong artillery, like trying to present himself as every knight in the arsenal, but it's like he's mismatched with his advancement is a mismatch to whom he thinks he's addressing, and it's because this queen has evolved. That's what I'm getting. This queen, the Queen of Pentacles, is actually the last energy to present itself in the form of material. This queen has been evolving, has been growing, has been maturing, has been on some type of personal journey, like ascending, transcending, her experiences, transmuting the energies that of experiences she's had along the way. She's been doing what he was supposed to be doing, but he chose to reject that journey. Seven of Cups, Four of Cups. And now it's like he's trying to come and engage her almost like back where he left her, but she's now advanced 3 stages, if not more, beyond that moment in time. That's wild. That's wild. Like, yeah, he's still thinking she's still a queen, a little sweet little Queen of Cups, loves everybody, compassionate for everyone, wants everybody to be good. Can't we all just get along? I have a heart for all, whatever your sob story. Tell me, lay your head on my shoulder type of energy. When really she's like, what you had said? The Queen of Swords, like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's the vibe she's on. Like, thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night. And it's because she's been on the trajectory of her own destiny, as she should, as we all get the invitation to be. So it's like I said in the beginning with that page, that Knight of Pentacles, too little, too late. It looks well packaged. It looks like it could be dependable, reliable, something you could take to the bank. But like I said, in this energy, it might have been borrowed time, literally. Maybe he's on borrowed time, literally. Wow. All right, let's just do one more row because my incense are out and we out. But that is something, ain't it? It's not uncommon though, because, and this could be masculine, feminine. And look, who comes back? Oh, yes, not back out, but that's the energy that was missing. That's case in point right there. Strength card, matured, advanced, like strong-willed, worked on herself, got over her traumas and toxicities, or at least was intentional about moving past them, ending karmic cycles. And he's still sitting over here under this tree playing with his own wand, like, nah, she did the work to move ahead. Yeah, literally playing with his own wand, trying to figure out the next best plan of action to present to her. But look what he got in his hand this time. Now he got the world in his hand. She don't need your world. This is the Queen of Pentacles. She's grounded in the space and environment that she creates herself. And that world looks awfully small and obscure to her. Yeah, like, no, it's a facade, it's a mirage. Because again, here's the Five of Pentacles, promising some happy ending, coming with nothing but conflict. There's the Queen of Wands, or did I? Oh no, the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles did pop out. It was the Queen of Wands. My bad. The Queen of Wands that didn't pop out. So I retract all that, what I said in terms of that. It is the last energy, it is the last to materialize. But this is also saying that even if you were to come, look, he's still offering to the Queen of Swords, even if you were to come to the Queen of Wands as a Knight of Wands, it still wouldn't be enough. You still be headed in the wrong direction with the wrong offering, because she's even matured in her passions enough to know that the Knight of Wands is not something you can rely on, or not anything where it don't get her wet. like no, maybe once upon a time when she was just the Nine of Pentacles, maybe perhaps you could have entered her secret garden. But as the Queen of Wands, she's got bigger fish to fry, more important passions to project. Project and to conquer, more territory to conquer. And she's not fitting to be taking no risk with someone, one of the team that's, one of the knights that's supposed to be protecting the territory. Like, that's just a conflict of interest. No, it's a mismatch. It's not working. That's why he's over here going the wrong way, and the Queen of Pentacles is here tending to her garden, and this is the order, this is divine order. It's a missed opportunity. It was a cycle that could have been reconciled in this lifetime, maybe perhaps a past love life experience. Yeah, but the Wheel of Fortune is like judgment. This is now it's the end of this karmic cycle, at least for one of them, like the one that chose to grow and evolve, to move with the ordinance of evolution. Divinely so, as it was ordained on that path to that star, that north node to do so, that went with the flow of time and not against it, not rejecting the flow. moving on, safe and secure in their own fortune, as a matter of fact, literally the wheel of fortune. And this cycle is completely closed now, not to reoccur again, not in this lifetime, perhaps never again. With the Hierophant putting his hand up, it's like enough is enough now. You can't even say next lifetime at this point. And I think that was the thing. That's what it is. That a lot of people felt like, oh, well, we'll get them next time, or either next season, or it was always a put off. That's why I was speaking about time earlier. It was always like, not right now type of thing. I want to keep partying. I want to keep doing this. I don't want to miss out on what I should be doing now. And everybody has their right to divine their own timing, but it's a detriment when you're out of alignment with divine timing. Ultimately, when your timing is not in divine order, is what I mean to say, and you're constantly getting signs and signals that, hey, it's time to grow up a little bit, time to leave some things behind, time to make some healthier choices, create some stronger boundaries, make some more positive connections and commitments. It's like all along time is ticking, and the signs and signals and synchronicities were all there, but he sat under that tree in the Four of Cups and refused to accept what the divine was laying down. So it's like, now you hear like, wait, I'm here, I'm ready, I got my pentacle, here's my gift, here's my offering. But it's like, dude, we off that. The Wheel of Fortune, that is like a drop in the bucket now for anyone that is in the flow of the Wheel of Fortune. There's almost nothing you could really offer to someone but the Ten of Cups, but actual pure happiness or some contribution to it. Like, yeah, everything else comes down to this. If it's not in alignment with that star quality, that not celebrity, but literally in alignment with how a person feels divined and destined to do life at this point. Decisions have already been made as to what stays and what goes. And if someone had, took their time doing other things instead of preparing their own posture, of whatever the case may be, that was their choice to make. But you can't, the entitlement to think that there's anything to go back and reclaim on account of now you're ready to do something different is a bit delusional, as is that Seven of Cups, at this point. It's delusional, and it's, like I said, it's entitlement. A little bit narcissistic, dare I say. I know we overuse that term a great deal here. This is back again. Yeah, it is a bit narcissistic, because still thinking that something is coming to you anyway, your ships are coming in anyway, still manifesting. But even with that, it's like you're manifesting something in its old pattern, in its old expression. This is what it used to be. This is like a past life love that was supposed to be reconciled this time around, because people literally chose to do something different with the time and energy that they had. He didn't do that. He didn't do anything different with the time and energy that he had. He kept doing what he wanted to do, and that wasn't really gaining him much prosperity while in the end, but even during, because even if there was material prosperity, it wasn't satisfying to his spirit and to his soul, or else he would be right where he is. He would stay there and be contented with it, but he's not, because there's something to say about satisfying that supreme source of yourself before the mental, before the energetic or passion, before the money or material gain. It had to have been reconciled at the source, at the cup level. This was that past experience. It's like, well, don't do that again. You got another chance, a do-over, to do it differently now. And people thought, like, I got time. At best, when I feel like it, like when I'm done playing games. At most, I should say at least when I'm done playing games. At most, I'll see you next lifetime. people were really dismissive that way about what potentially Wheel of Fortune is like once in a lifetime opportunities. And as I said, something about this lifetime of ours that we are so blessed to be in was very definite in a lot of ways, in a lot of divine ways. I do not know exactly how yet, but it is unfolding and is being unveiled. And perhaps to those that are seeing the harvest that they've yielded, there is more understanding of exactly what that is, or maybe that's the delusion and the entitlement and pushback, because it's almost like a disbelief, like, no, it can't be over. This couldn't have been my last chance. It can't. I'm ready. Like, I'm here. There's nobody better than me. Like, who else are you going to, what better opportunity, what better partner, what better friendship, what better family member, who else is going to treat you like I do? I hope nobody. Like, I hope nobody is this disregarding with the blessings and gifts of people, places, and things in their lives. From this point on, I hope that is the lesson learned, if nothing else, which would be the karmic cycle now restarting itself, except for those that got it. Like in my last reading, is like pass or fail, like got it, studied, ready to go, ready to matriculate. Now they move on in a different wisdom, and also in a different program of learning. Those that didn't quite make the grade are going to, chose those cycles to recreate again, or made the same choices again, whether it be last lifetime or just last life cycle, over and over again, having the opportunity to do something different, perhaps 7 times over with the 7 of Cups. It's like, okay, well, you continue to make the wrong choice of all the multiple choices again, so now you're going to have to retest, sir. So now perhaps another Jupiter cycle or whatever the spirit ordains. I can't even really say at this point in time. I don't even want to put a time frame on it, but until the lesson is learned and it's clear and the test is passed in some regard, and there's an exemplaration, or I don't know if that's the right word, but until life actions exemplify that evidence, it's like, no, yeah, you're going to keep at it, and here he is. This is what he chose, and it didn't lead to nothing but anxiety, eagerness, and regret ultimately with the nine of swords. Fun while it lasted, yeah. Meanwhile, other people are moving forward, and he's still waiting for some payday that ain't never going to come. In that world card ain't never going to come until he decides to finally do something different. All right, let's just get one more and I'm out. All right, come on, Spirit, one more, will you? Just one. That Nine of Swords is heavy, and look who's still out here lurking. High Priestess. Once again, offering the wrong thing to the wrong person. Because the High Priestess is not worried about nobody's pentacle or any material matter, really. That's not her concern. It's just not. She's on a higher vibration, a higher frequency, and look, we're still out here. And the Queen of Wands back here, still looking at the devil like, nah, I'm good. And there's that, still there, the Three of Cups, and that's what he wanted. That's what he offered to. That's what mattered to him, to not miss out on the fun, to be one in the number of the fun, when he had the opportunity to have the number one indulgence, the number one celebration in his honor. Great price to pay. now having come all the way back down yet again. And it's like he's almost offering to the damn devil, which perhaps is what had him caught up in the first place. That he was giving way too much of his energy, his vitality, the best years of his life. That's what that's given me as a kid, a Page of Pentacles, a young, vibrant mind that was supposed to be learning and growing and gaining maturity and wisdom and knowledge and all that good stuff. He gave all of that vitality to his addictions, the best years of his life, to addictions, obsessions, and possessions. And it kept him limited from evolving. Well, I should say he kept himself limited, because it wasn't it. It was the devil, so-called, can only do what you allow it to do once you become conscious of the choices that you're making. Now, some things we're just not conscious of, and maybe perhaps there were moments in his immaturity that he was unconscious about how he was investing his energy and time and even resources. But at some point in time, it became clear, and it was clear enough for him to make the decision to what's the Four of Cups? To reject that Ace of Cups, the very opposite of the devil energy. That's divine nurturing. That's supreme love, spiritual vitality, satisfaction, true love, or at least unconditional love, especially from the divine, for you to learn how to love self above all else. That wasn't cool enough. That wasn't popping. So he's still offering the wrong thing to the wrong person, because the High Priestess is about her spiritual alignment. It is beyond material for her. It's not even material, is secondary to the High Priestess. So it's like coins in the bucket, fuck it, for her. Like literally. Maybe even tears in a bucket, fuck it, for her. She's not interested. It's as menial in the Knight of Pentacles, so-called a stable seed, as it is in the Page of Pentacles, which is just not. It's just not. Laid to rest, and that's the end of that. Literally, him having to go back to the drawing board finally is like, not accept defeat, but it's like surrender. That's what it really is, like surrender to what is, who you truly are, and what is necessary in this present moment to preserve your life force. What's left of it that you didn't give away, or party away, or drink away, or smoke away, or sex away. You know what I mean? Like, that's that devil energy, all of that. It's like surrender, meditate, rest, rejuvenate, let the spirit raise you up. If it be possible to do so, put that Three of Swords on the shelf, that toxicity, that heartbreak, all of that, be healed from it finally, is what it comes down to back at one with the Page of Pentacles. It's the only thing of value truly at this point in time. To be regenerated and rejuvenated, if the spirit is so gracious, because that's a big if, at this point. So I'm gonna leave that there. The Scorpio energy ain't no joke now. I've been trying to turn it around, but it's like, you're gonna get these spiritual hands with Scorpio in the mix. New moon or no moon, it's like, it's intense. And it's always my intention to bring the highest vibrational message possible. It's just a matter of truth now, and sometimes the truth is bitter, but the truth will most certainly set you free. As cliche as it sounds. Queen of Swords, King of Swords. Exalted truth of all the kings and queens. And we had the Ace of Truth, the Ace of Swords, which is divine clarity and truth. It's the only thing freeing at this point. The only thing that ever was freeing, and the only thing that ever will be. Can't get around it. All right, so thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, I leave you with peace.